Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about Sinners, the movie of course. So, in the beginning, this movie starts off with a little bit of a background into the lore regarding how spiritual creatures are attracted to music and how some people possess that special talent in music that will transcend time. I kind of wished that they had more context behind this lore or whatever practice or power it was. I genuinely could not tell if this was supposed to be a good thing or a curse for some people. Then it just pans over to Sammy. And Sammy's entrance in the first scene, I was thoroughly confused on what was going on. That scene made me think that the vampires were already a problem and that the townspeople knew what they were doing, or they were actively fighting against the vampires. That apparently was not the case, since that beginning scene was the ending scene of the movie, so there was quite a flashback. I just didn't expect the flashback to be only for one day. That flashback starts off with Sammy in church talking to his father. He mentions that he's really passionate about music and his father warns him about it, of course. Sammy doesn't listen, and then the SmokeStack twins come in. Now, one issue that I had with the SmokeStack twins is that I really had a difficult time telling who was Smoke and who was Stack, because of course the same actor was playing both of them. I wish they added a scar on one of the twins' faces so I could get a grasp of who's who, cause I kept forgetting which twin wore red and which twin wore blue. But beyond that, there wasn't much of a backstory to the twins. All we know is that they were really famous in Chicago. Well, famous and dangerous. And I think that Smoke had a child that passed away. But he was also involved with Mary. I also had a really hard time understanding where Mary fit into all of this. Once again, I think they just needed a little bit more context for some of these things, cause it feels like the stories were a little bit rushed, and they were also like trying to cover various themes, but none of those themes hit for some reason, like Smoke's child passing away or the themes of oppression. Since there wasn't really a clarification on the relationships between the characters, the emotional impact for the death of some of these characters wasn't really there. But moving on to the main point of the movie, which was in the club. Sammy's singing really did a number on everyone that night. I honestly didn't understand the scene with the spirits in there. I thought they were going to be able to see the spirits, but I guess only we could see it and the vampires could see it. Speaking of the vampires, I don't know where Remick came from, but I think they might make another movie based off of that. Then again, who knows, because he did die at the end of the movie. I think the one thing that frustrated me the most was when Grace invited all the vampires in. They could have waited till sunrise at least, and be able to warn the town about this issue that they have, which then would be dealt with accordingly. Because the ratio of vampires to normal people, it was like 1-4. Plus, Sammy and Smoke were the only ones that survived. Honestly, I couldn't tell if the vampires were powerful or not. Once invited, they should have been able to turn everyone into a vampire. Like what happened to the super speed, super strength. Like everybody should have been vampires within the first 30 seconds. Also, I don't know why Remick wanted Sammy so bad. I know Sammy has a great voice, but there was no explanation on how spirits would be able to like cross that divide, or if they would be even able to physically manifest. Once again, maybe that's all explained in an upcoming movie or a sequel, hopefully. Beyond that, I think it was a good movie overall. Just needed clarification on several things. Maybe needed to be slowed down a bit with some parts of the plot. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a good movie overall. I love the setting. The vampires were scary. Plus, everything looks super realistic. There wasn't too much CGI or anything like that, which made the vampires a little bit more scarier. But anyways, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below and have a great day, afternoon, evening, or night.